And then the second is the truth of the origin of suffering, which is subdivided into two types of origin from the afflictions and one from the karmas. And we have this.
디바디 까마치가 아말라단다 그소그디 종케기 쫀주도 시간인데 레콜라도도 투메 쫀주노 아르지바 지저라 패데우레 나서 치수 주니디 까마 쫑아드니 가서 멜론데 아이 단단디 종케기 밑에 단단가서 전달이나 초마디 투메 쫀주노 어르지라가는 람 단단가서 단에 치셔야다 레진데 콜시데우레 페미시 샬로 첨보라.
So we also have to doing a prayer for Tin Dan Yuan, one of our members' father-in-law. So please keep his name in your mind and make prayers, because whatever teaching that we are going through, like this, the karmic origin of karma, the origin of afflictive emotions. So these two, that the Four Noble Truth, actually, when we're going through that, it also carries a lot of blessings. So keep him. The reason why it is beneficial is so it is like when somebody passed away, like when you think about impermanence, and those Lama who have experience in meditation of cause and effect, and then the impermanence, on those when they meditate on this. So in here, like we're going the origin of suffering and divided into those two things, and that go through those meditations. And when they are in that meditative state, then it's, even if you don't say any prayer, it will greatly benefit anyone who has passed away.
And in
the like also Len, who has been with our temple for a long time, has always been very supportive. So because of our strong connection, then if we say that may the person who passed away is related to Len, and may he be born in the realm of pure land of Amitabha, and that will definitely be very beneficial. So the reason why it is very beneficial is we are connected to the person who passed away through Len. With her, we have dharmic connection as well as other material connections. So that's why it is very beneficial. And also we have become Dharma friends. And we have connection with her through Dharma, and we have connection with her through other material things. For example, she often brings food, and we have eaten her food very often. So that one, there's two connections that we have with her. Okay, so we'll continue with the teaching.
So in the truth of origin of suffering, we have completed the karmic, afflictive truth of origin of suffering.
다 다른 가서 레지 견주된 바들에 다선.
Today we will continue with the karmic truth of origin.
근데 다른 가서 레지 견주된 바지. 다 레지 견주된 바다 다드나요. 다 레지 견주된 바 다다리 레지 견주된 바라는 레지 녀무비 견주된 바들아 녀무이 고래서 녀무비 견주들라 가서 녀무도 소득해 임바서 녀무비 견주된 바들 녀무이 고래서 도샤샤 도콘동 아자 마리파라도 녀무비 견주된 바래서.
So for it to be an afflictive truth of origin, it has to be something related to the affliction, such as anger, hatred, desire, attachment, or ignorance.
다 레지 견주된 바들아 레이 고래서.
So for it to be karmic truth of origin, it has to be a karma or action.
다 다른 가서 레지 견주된 발랑케들라 레이 고래라 레들라 가지지 장치 예진나도 가지 요래 간다레 라드레서.
So today we will go through this karmic truth of origin of suffering. What types of divisions are there?
다 어쨌든 들어봤는데 다 레지 견주되면 오고네이나 선비레도 선비레 니유스란데. 그런저 제 인시아마 진료도 냥도만
So the first division of this karmic truth of origin is you can divide it into two as an intended karma or enacted karma.
다 선비레 선비레 니라서 와서 선비레도 선비레 니라도 다들 배계셔버 선비게레도 일레니도 이글레니도 대치이래 미카가리 맞아 된다 집바래서 다 페제티코마 요지래 제 인치되지 말려셔도 돈 보시.
So this intended karma is same as a mental action or the mental karma.
네. 다 선비게레도 이글레니도 대치래라서 다 나게레 단다 선비레도 다 선비레라는데 선비게레도 리게레도 나게레서도 미카가리 맞아 된다 집바래서.
And then the enacted karma is same as your bodily, like physical karma or your verbal actions. Those are same.
디안치도 지 인치료 차례.
Loya.
다다래. 들어서 초박에 년도만 인치질로 알 다거지만 누군가 그좀 도우지래.
Can everyone see what's written up here?
제 연주 인치만 질러도 그쵸 뭐라서 흘러서 질러는 그 성질을 한번 대우라.
So there are two the truth of origin of karma. Karmic truth of origin can be divided in a way. One way of dividing is intended karma and enacted karma. So intended karma is same as the action that is done by the mental, by the mind, by your mind. And enacted karma is something karma that is done by the body or the verbal actions.
다 빼나서 다때만 뺀색해 그래. 제대로 빼나서. 빼나 리더 나게 샤와 마젠비 고네 그 세조대 선비레이스 때 인시도 맞지려고 하는 제대로 가는.
So one example is the intention to kill before actually engaging in the physical or the verbal action. That intention is the mental karma or the intended karma.
다데 리더 나게 샤와 마셈이 거니 센드 그 결론라 대와 이다 아니들 센드 결론 잔다 수익견 그 세조대 선비레레드 선비레 말에라야 다 선비레랑 키르가르나는 다 파쇼 수샤 간다이나고 다 세과 선 살레테 다지 세산 로아드 리그 치 샤와 가게서 마주 다버 스테위라는 깨장 한 거니 마 대마 마대와지 딱 나도 스포니기 레카 가게 마지와지 다 셀 센도 깨는 사서 뭐 되더라 근데 센도 깨는도 가르나 이글레다 셈빌레레스.
So in this example you actually haven't killed the being, but you have the intention to kill it. You haven't done anything physical action to kill it, or neither you said anything like I will kill this person or animal. So it's just pure intention at that point. That is called the intended karma. You haven't engaged in the verbal or the physical action yet.
딱 그래서 알아 집잖아 집버리 다 봐서 젤라즈 진토인다다 그거다 서 셀테와지 다이나 단다 나고니마 테마 저지 스포글 레카 가게 마지와지 셀다 테마 전제래 다다 그거다 서 테와 전제그 샘비길레 미게빌레 사차래 그 샘비길레레 되오르면데 링하길레 말에서.
So, same thing with another example is you have an intention to steal a precious item, right? You haven't actually stolen it yet, nor you said to anybody that you're going to steal it. But since you already have, or you have this intention to steal it, you have already engaged in this mental karma of stealing. So that is a non-virtuous action.
다 레랑케들 가르고르라는 레랑케들 야나는 켈로도 이발 켈로 두차 가임바데 레레 그러마도 도바크라요 말에 켈로 야와 가임바데 게위레레 켈로 두차 가임바데 메게위레레 콜레 이발 텔레 레레데 마레라는 쪼바테야크라요 말에.
So any kind of bad or impure intention is a non-virtuous karma. Similarly, any kind of good or a pure intention is a virtuous karma.
다 켈로라 대는 가서 하고 로그 사그 통그 그그 세그 선은 사den 케글 다 세종들라 켈로라는 뜻을 나오러 와서.
So the intention is something that your mind wanting to do something, right? You want to eat something, you want to drink something, your mind engaging in the mental action to want to do something, intend to do something.
다래.
So basic, in simply, it's like thoughts, right? Thoughts that you have, even if you think about, oh, maybe I should steal this, or maybe I should, just even a slight thought, or wanting to eat something and it goes somewhere. These are all thoughts. So any positive, you have no doubt, any positive thoughts you have, anything that is virtuous or positive, it creates good mental karma, and any negative thoughts, any kind of negative thought, it creates a negative karma for you.
베난다서는 저대 ngaso 파시올레 진 문다이 나다 스제 간다이나 콜로디지 자락지 나야다지 젠차고와전 토라 토딜에 소서 리당 가게로 받지 마트나 생거니마 히코 리피디 아카서는 다테 동하들레지 타르르는 콜 던때 동하도 마고르는 때 동하들레지 타르르 계속 지와서 그 게윌레 빼미스 로프체 이소요래.
Another example is, let's say you see another person or any kind of beings that's going through a great suffering, even though you cannot act or do anything physically to help this person or say anything, if something arises in your mind such that, oh, I wish this person get rid of this suffering and not have this suffering, this kind of intention or mental thoughts generate so much virtuous karma.
다들 켈로디기 샘비가 다 켈로디기 세거서나 사거서나 라거서나 지체차라 챈바도 되네 디게 로와도 사와도 세와라서 디게 샤와 가임바디 샤와 찬소 마주 바디 샤와 가임바도 베나 켈로 잠바저 베나 파시 머들 펜토제사전 로인 로거 삼바도 로와도 다디기 레카 샤와 찬소도 마주 바도 코 개와레 되어서 개위레 되어 디게 샤와 참마도 개와레 되어서.
So once you have this good, for example, a good intentions, after that you engage in a physical action, right? You want to go help them. Even you walking towards that person, whatever physical action that you engage into to complete that action goes toward the virtuous action. Even walking towards that person is a virtuous action because you're going to help that person, right? You're going to help that person.
베나데 배치가 안 되지 거든요 야본도 이제서 베난다서는 단탄다들 지cel라게 되고 야보죠 요한 토하지 다선인한테 단탄도 cel라도 그 산도가 선을 계속도 제사로와 다 근데 계속도 제네서 때다 이야라는 컴바조안도나 칸도나 단탄도 cel라도 라파세 소소라파바 토마사 받은데 단탄도 아게 지그 샤와 참마데 미게빌리 근데 가는데 미게빌리라는 거래서
So another simple example is, let's say there's a precious item, a nice item at downtown, right? And then that's the intention that you want to steal that item. Then tomorrow you actually go to downtown, touching that item. All this, even taking the C train, going there, is a non-virtuous karma because you are going there to complete this intention, that negative intention, right? So any action related to that is non-virtuous.
어래 다처럼 나니 다른 데서 쳐내서고 담반데서고 나니 공도 그 깨놓도 나니 고나니 바테네서 텐데레 샤완델 인잔다 찬소차 나르바 말레바드 디바기 샤와차마드 게빌레 찬도레서.
Same thing with today. You came to get this teaching, right? So to get this teaching, you have this intention, and to fulfill this intention, you left your home. You reach here. Then until you get back to your home, any actions that you engage in is part of a virtuous karma because you are fulfilling this good intention.
다디 오게인다 다가서 단다 셈빌레 딘디스와서 셈베길레 딘디스와서.
So here we have understood what this mental or intended karma is.
다 셈빌레는 계속인비 처차래 셈빌레는 계속인비 다 셈빌레인데서 다가르나는 셈베길레들에 다서 다디가 셈빌레들에
The
다서.
next one is the enacted karma.
다 셈빌레드 리다가 강로그 샤와도 띠녀든 주비스 젠도그 세조데 셈빌레 이세 치드나 요라 타마찔로 치마찔로샤.
So any bodily action or the verbal action is this enacted karma.
다 썸빌레랑케도 살 태와 나제 링고니아 샤와체 나고니아 샤와체는 링가 니가 샤와다 세게 썸썸노가 깨르노도 링가 상각 다 상각 뇨르체네레 데아 카임바도 다다테레데 썸빌레레 데오레세.
So this enacted karma is after you have thought or you have this intention. Now your verbal and the physical actions are engaging in this kind of action. So all the mental, verbal, and bodily actions comes together, work together to fulfill this intention is the enacted karma.
야, 그래. 다 티가 말은 내게들 때 지금 뭐지 때가 이때지 다 체득하고 그래. 단단데 다 레들라 엄마 라지바 만쳐게 레 있나? 깨노다 샤와 거름이 미쳐라 그래. 레인 야나 깨노 이거서. 깨노도 이바래. 레가 되게 깨노 야왕에 왔단다. 레인 야나 깨노 이거래. 야나 깨노가 샘비기 샤와지 이거래 마트. 레를 주요 말해라. 우리 라지바 만쳐게
So among the Buddhist school, any school that is below the Swata, Tantrika, Madhyamika, they say that any action is either the mental action, same gichores, and you would
깨노도 샤와거로 이거래. 그래서 레들라 가르는 주제요 주요말 다요 주요말에서 그래.
Okay, so any kind of karma must be either intention or it has to be an action.
Motivation. 자와 들려야지.
야, 알았어. 리사. 다대제 당연히 뭐 추진들아 막 가인 봐. 다가르는 엄마 단주일이라. 단주일을 레들라 이치미치 샤와다 깨노 점바 이고 말에 레라 드라이오레 주요레 소랑아 카노니 마 다데알라 게빌리아 요레 다데알라 미겔리 게빌리 인케 드라인케 미겔리 인케 드라인케 요레 소레.
So the previous school has said that the action or karma cannot be a speech or a physical thing. But the high school, the Prasangika, Madhyamika, they claim that the karma can be a speech or a physical entity. Right?
Sound.
Sound or speech, yeah.
다 단지위를 떠서는 단당하선데 말로 최해 대학 잡보라드 게빌레레 데오레서 잡보라드 게빌레레
So,
데오레서.
according to the highest Buddhist school, Prasangika, the teaching that we are going through right now, all the sound that's related to this teaching, whatever I'm saying, these are all virtuous karma.
다 매개를 카나니 팅에 강시와다 다스제 파저 라레 젬비 다스제 간다들 팅에 바 강시와가 팅에 바 베나페 까마라한다 지 자파한다 라한다 까마라다 자파라다 프라드 매개발레레 다레 데오레 매개발레레세.
So any sound or speech, let's say you said, oh, you're a thief, you're a robber, those kind of sounds are all non-virtuous karma.
So I'm going to, for example, any kind of curse words you might just utter at,
Insulting words.
any sound is considered non-virtuous.
다든다 배차 뭐 버게 no yeah chit oh the yabashu la suji che yabashu de tante chato de koma david de tante chi laga ne yabundu chiro inchi tnya twas ta kadu kadu twa ka ya na ta son pe yabundu.
I just wanted to ask Ishila, like for example, with any kind of curse word, if the word is a harsh word, but if your intention is as a joke or is not negative, is that still because is the sound still a negative karma? Just want to clarify.
다데 뭐 최쇼가서 단다 먹게와 쥐가든다 뭐 최쇼가 나니 다들라는 때 거간 깨송도도 뭐 보니도 때 만참마치 받은 맛도 소마도 깨송도 채와래서 오래 배나가 제대로 저한테 배가나 저한테들 가르는 파시가나 근도 매 센도 매와 있는 배나가 센도나 가게 매는 게 딱 어미게 되지 파시 먼저 세고와 있나 나 얼루와를 저얼루 말해서 그래 또 안 되지
So among the 10 non-virtuous thing, how the presidents among them is the mental actions has a higher precedence over the verbal or the physical actions. For example, me as a monk, if I physically kill someone, but I did not intend to kill it, but out of no control, somehow I ended up accidentally, I ended up killing that person. I did not lose my monk vow because I did not intend it, because intention has the precedence over my action.
So Kishla was saying, except for sexual misconduct, all other they can be like it's if you have no intention, but somehow you are forced into it, or you like it. accident change some super.
어떤 나무나들에 배나라서는 제대로 저거 뭐라도 파시 뭐도 도체서 세고와 있나 그걸 싸니면 센도 요마로 그 타월로 하는 타월로 말해.
So like for example, if you get into accident and then you somebody dies, and this does not if it's a monk, he would not lose his vow because it happened without any intention.
다다는 저대기 좋아들 다들 대파도만 좀 먹어서 다 저대기라 다들 치다 쳐먹은 거지 나 둘에 좀 먹잖아 가서 지질란 단에 집에 저 따서 제 잡아서란데 다가서 난지 각 추슈서는 좀 전에 바 접고 지지바 쉬 첨부 이들 가지고 마셔 라래서 오라 디텔 가르라는 나착 답도 요래 맛도 베샤락 데 답 첨부도 뭐 땅 안차도 찾아봐라 더 안차를 되오라 오 그런 안차를 되오라.
So, to answer Jordan last question, so among your friends, someone you curse them or speak a harsh word towards them without intention, out of humor or joke, right? But since you have said this harsh word, you do accumulate the non-virtuous karma due to your verbal action, but you do not accumulate it through your mental actions.
Those are like the hush word, like it sounds like hush. The other person would not take it as hush because he would know that it's a very close friends together. They would joke with each other. The sound of the word can be hush, but it does not. There's no intention to hurt the other person. However, that period still falls into idle chatter. When we, out of the 10 non-virtues, we have idle chatter, it will still fall into that category.
겐로도 짜도 컨트롤 게네 하와마 임바지 컨트롤도 겐로도 짜게 게네 마하와 파시 난진 소소 좀 때데서들 체짜바살 나와 있나 다 잡아살 치디다 괜찮는데 제 치디자데 그 졸하는 치디자데 배쳐도는 근데 치디자데 먹이래 차고 말해서.
Okay. So out of just correct.
치도자데 네 가수래 치도자이데 it doesn't
Penanda Ramala, Kalagure, Tachi Soso Johano, Hochi and Dada, Kelu, Thomas in Baji, Chipin Ramada than do that, Chenko Pin Ramada, Pingo Ramada than do Alan, Pachet and I lag the patient McGill Chaumaris.
So if you do not say it out of hatred or anger or your negative intention, let's say you call someone your good friend, oh, your head looks like monkey's head or something like that. Since you're not saying it out of the hatred, anger of negative intention, it won't probably fall under the negative verbal karma.
College Miguel Chaumarilla and do it, Miguel Chaumarilla and do it.
So it might fall under the ideal chart, but it's not considered as a verbal negative action.
Taya Kelo to Chaga Data Domombo and Hamagaran, Chedegel, the Devala Tashinda Keandro de Dilla, Tam de Onya Tawad cut on, Kogamagan, all cut on the Kenny Honda with the Kelo cut on each Gandamunda, Chundamon doesn't do so as Chiora, Chumabondamon doesn't do La Dilla, Crotio, Najachio ladies, Chumabondamondu, like Sirang Latene. So
there are also stories that in olden times, when a monk was walking by, a person said that, oh, the monk looks like a dog, due to his saying that the monk looks like a dog out of negative intention, because he hated that person. It said that that person was born as a dog for 500 lifetimes.
Oh, that even the Tanato Tanana than Juaji. That case is Tangaza, Takelongo, Tadigamayaba Tagore, Tadiolo, Kelongoni, Yena Ladan. Tangani Rajabang and do to the Tanjabang and do to the Rosaswa. Tati Holkander, Chidinogan do. Oh, Tani. Not that. That's the case more than that. The Tomomare. Ya Kelongoni Yena. Gave ledo loma tangele ta le lang kedele gewa inkechi magewa inkechi gewa do magewa niga ma inkele ta le de la manda so yore.
So another way of classifying the truth of origin of karma is it's through motivation, like virtuous karma, non-virtuous karma, and neutral karma.
다들가는 kelongoni 찬오르스 코가는 게위레 차다 콤게위레 차다 로마텔레 차마차다 kelong 소노도도 kelongoni 찬오르스.
So motivation. Determined by.
So these three are determined by the motivation of that person.
Oh, the teaching it to pay about you to use also. Tagila dad, get low to charge and go near chicken and honey, shower coach, get low to Magivile, Tigger, Ken and Humby, shower dom, Magivile chatter.
Like we said before, anything you have done out of the negative intention or motivation, it becomes non-virtuous karma. Anything you do things out of good intentions and motivations becomes virtuous karma.
Takelon Zambo, the Raleigh Zambi Society Peasant, Takelon Zambo to Tony, Kelon Kaim, but Kelon Zambo Kaim, but the big Sambi shower Kaim, but the
so you act out of good intentions, out of your kind heart. Anything that results is a virtuous karma.
Tataki at the lander, Takelon Zanga Kagi Magic, Kelo Zoya Lo Yabo Kenya, my budget, Kelo Duchaki Kenya, my budget, Kelo got Kelo in the Yana Yabo to Duchak or in Bichabayomara, Kelo Yabo Tela Mewaji, Kelo Duchame, Kelo Pampa Pavayora. That tea Kenya Lambi Shawa Kai and Butter, Tanda Kelo Kai and Butter, Loma Tagile.
So there are some kinds of motivations, the intentions, which are neither good nor bad. So they are just neutral. So those are neutral karmas, neutral actions.
Lama Tagile Lagagana, Gavilia Mainke, Magilia Mainke, lazy Taniko Lama Tagile.
So it is called neutral karma because it is neither virtuous nor non-virtuous, but it is still a karma. That's why it is called neutral karma.
Then,
another way of classifying this is through how the result is produced
다가 선들어 마냥 개첨보다고 단 레벤 jest 증원에나 레벤 제바 내빌레도 레벤 제와 망에빌레도 니여세.
So those are the two divisions are determinate karma and indeterminate karma.
다가서 제들레가래 제들 코로 제들은 레베 지와 내케게 제치도 jetlan de bichi manga ke jichi ni la de chipare ta jelana le la na ta ga jirke de ro are.
So this is with respect to the production of the result from the cause. You have committed you have engaged in a cause, the result hasn't been produced or ripened yet, and then the other one you have committed or engaged in an action that the result has already ripened or produced.
다다가 좀 레벤지와 랭킬레 던 레벤지와 망에빌레 니오르 라임바 다티가마 페제체티오르 단 레벤지와 랭빌레 던 레벤지와 망에빌레 니오르스 레벤지와 랭빌레도 제라사빌레니 대치레스 레벤지와 랭케길레도 제라사빌레라는 대치레스.
So determinate karma and accumulate karma means the same thing.
단 레베치와 망한케길레도 제라 마사빌레니 대치레스.
So indeterminate karma is also called as unaccumulated karma. They mean the same thing.
당원의 그 전쟁인 로또도 시사모하고 그 단등 원인인가요래. 단다 레베치와 망한케길레도 레베치와 망한케길레니 대군도아.
So to understand cause and effect, the concept of cause and effect thoroughly, this will help.
단 레베치와 뇌빌레다 제라사빌레니 대치레란도 어떻게 연주치 짜해지선 대치레선.
So Kishla wants to repeat that determinate karma and accumulated karma means the same thing.
단 레베치와 망한케길레도 제라 마사빌레니 대치레선.
Indeterminate karma and the unaccumulated karma means the same thing.
다 제라 사빌레도 제라 마사빌레란케 간다 따더니 하고 그한테 계시면 자고 제라 사빌레란케 간다들라 그래 제라 마사빌레란케 간다들라 그래 다다 하고 고라.
So it is very important at this point to know what does it mean by accumulated karma and unaccumulated karma.
다 제라 사빌레들라 최초 주토고래
So this accumulated karma or the determinate karma has 6 characteristics.
다가다 계속 잡고네 사회전바다 계속 잡고고도.
The first one is it has been performed with the strong motivation.
의질레데 즈바세바즈고도.
The action is fully completed.
선바가는 제발한 즈바메바고도.
So the third is there is no regret that follows the action.
즈바다라 제시야로고도.
And the fourth is the person rejoices the action afterwards.
다 나바 대단 조직의 년보 개두체메바즈고도.
Fifth, no antidote is applied to counteract it.
두번 레벨 멤버 멤비게 니바유스 어따데 트르들라 단 레벨 멤버 멤버스.
So the sixth is it retains the capacity to produce a result. So this one, any action that has the 6 characteristics is called accumulated karma or determinate karma.
답변하라서 가서 그소한다들 자와는 파지 젤라즈 그산로아이는 덤버 끈도 그 깨홍서 공다 다 타지등에 단다 끈도 그 깨로 요어전자마서 타지등 알아 타와서 타지등에 끝투어서 상게 깨홍 잡본다도 공다.
So take an example of stealing an item, an object, right? So you need this first characteristic is you want to steal that object. Not only you want to steal, you need to have a strong motivation. Like I must steal that. I will get it in whatever means I have to use.
다니바도 가르는 무지 레데 즈바체바 무지 레데 즈바체바 라야들 다 파지 젤라드 그산 저거서는 계속 잡은 거니 판드는 젤라들 문네 발라바창 다 젤라들 라바창 살래차한다도 고래서.
Then the second characteristic is in this example you have actually stolen that item and the item is in your possession now.
다 니바도 다 삼바도 다 그존도 그 깨놓은로서 그자 젤라도 터차라 터차다 오 당에 그존은 리마소서 아들은 요새 짜니매 봐 요새 짜 젤란 주바 매봐 그저 아들은 주바 매봐 다 그저 젤라지 그 차라 다들은 주바 짜니매 오게 그저 단 리마소서 하긴 요새 짜니매 봐 그래.
And the third characteristic is now that you have already stolen that item, when you have the item, you have no regret that, oh, you shouldn't have stolen that. You have no regret at all.
제바 달라지지 야라와 단단 제바 때 땅에 그전 리마소서는 제바 다시서 단지서 당아 그저라서 터서서 단들 강원라서
And
그래.
the fourth one in the example is, no, not only that you have no regret, you actually rejoice that, oh, I've done a great job. I accomplished my mission and such rejoice.
다 단다의 그저야 그 레들 셀라사비 레라는 다고 용은 주소 찬송 총 상계의 레들에 되요래서
So now the
저번에 다들 여기 시골에 쏘는 좋아하는 오당에 문제 레드나 싸고서 리마송서는 들은 조세선 하던다든가 소인 레드 니바메 봐서 가오라 하던다든가 가게 맞아 년보 맞대야지 하도 가게 맞아 저 맞아 왔던다고 그래서
the fifth one is after stealing and then rejoicing, and sometimes you want, or you realize that, oh, you have done something wrong and you want to rectify this, right? And apply the antidote, but you didn't do that. The fifth one.
다 주파드가는 다 던다의 레들 레브 가르나나 한번 내비기 니바 요소 여와 차다 그래서
And the sixth one is, then it has the full capacity to produce its result. So
오더래
if you break any one of those, it does not become accumulated karma. It does not have the full capacity to create the end result.
단딜 바지잖아 저대장 논쟁아서 아마라 겨워도 덮어 가르두나야 용은 주소도 계신보레 라데드 요와 무주 주소도 다는 디노로 바 참고전出现的 주대 틀어 더 있는 요와 무주 주소나서 더고래.
Okay. It's always really important to keep in mind. There are three things to remember. First, it's preparation. The main thing, and then completion. So those are the three things that.
So among the three, the first is the preparation. You preparing to engage in that action.
배랑아서 차도서 있는 토하기 차도서는 너무 요하다 가려는 다 차도서 거도 선어 오마도 쳤다 차디서야도 요하라 되요라.
For example, if you want to prepare a tea, then before you actually make the tea, you gather its ingredients, right? Gathering the tea, sugar, and so on. That's the preparation part.
요하라 되요라. 당어질로 건매 또 차서야 돼.
And then the actual later, the main thing, the actual action, like you actually boiling the water and putting the tea leaves in there.
다걸 요하던 거 이니까 소사서
Then you have the preparation and the main thing.
아니까 계셔 뭐래. 자선도 그 경호도 자소하게 지짜지면은 잘 하거요 말아서 자고 하거요 말아서.
So both are important. Without having the ingredients, you cannot get the tea, right? Just like the preparation is very important before the actual action.
다 자선도 그 깨로요 자소하게 쳐도 어마 찬소도 요아이나 자소 마디와이나 자 마소아이나 요 자샤요 말 그러러시고 자샤요 말와.
Now that you have the intention to make a tea, and then you have all the ingredients gathered, then you do not engage in actually making the tea, then you will not get the tea.
다 돈보니까는 요아 증거기니까 더 사소하세.
Now we finished the two, the preparation and the actual action.
단줄에 아따 잔토차는 다리 자대 어제 현보 조작 다 현보 마조는 현보 조마조 알아서 와이나야 줄을 거 잔토차네 지서 쏘는 거지오라 다른 죽이 샤와나들에 줄라나다 저 차이제 jest complete jest야.
Okay, the third one is the completion and the gon송도 계실라.
다 자소사 통사라 자소사래 통사라 다 통사디 서서 쏘는 날 자드지 현보 조마조다 쏘는 가는 코와 이나야 다든 주드들에 되오라.
So the completion is after you prepared the tea and you drink the tea, then whatever comes afterward, whether you think, oh, the tea tastes good or tea didn't taste good or whatever thoughts that comes afterward. Right?
That's the final completion.
Final
Everything
completion.
else, yeah.
다데 티가 가라나는 뱀 뭐지그 배낭아서 취치와 이나 계속 트라보 토니 쏜노또 계속 후첨보고 토니 헬로죠 쏘아또 투아 있는 요 게빌레도 때지 후첨보 또 첨보서 가운데와 요 지금 게빌레나 계속 저쩌고 계속 싸마 계속 후첨보서 와 있는 티가 그걸 레드 니바도 첨보서 가운데와
So whether it is a positive action or a negative action, if you have a strong motivation, if you're engaging in a positive action, you do it out of a very strong motivation. Similarly, you want to engage in a negative action and you do it out of a very strong intentions and motivation. This strengthens the result. The result that follows becomes much more stronger and powerful if you have a strong motivation, whether it's good or bad.
엘라서 따따는
And 뭐가 메이크나 leg member 매바 맞아 코나.
레가 남아면 맞아.
어디 들어야지. leg 가서 매매나 아니 로제 터프리 소야 줘.
대다기 데려다만디. 주반디는 로다. 소래 주반디는 오래. 단다 되는 다 가니 틀려. 연재 단들에 연재 배때지 가고 사람 맞된도 단들은 세모 여다 소송에. 저도 다들 정부 주소도 개화이나 단다래 개화 빼나 샤찌면 참하잖아. 샤 찬도 그 결론도 이 대요하더라. 샤 찬도 그 결론도 다들 좋아되지. 당 무슨 샤 사와도 뭐이지지. 다샤 차차게를 써서 좀 hello 좋아하는 유드지. 다가 좀 담보 자지 되는 것을 알았다. 되는 유드 봐 싸마서 알까네나 티사탄다더래도 요알라들 타디서 하듯이 뭐이제도 가리나고 무슨 알았다야 되지. 유드를 다들 써서 가르나는 유달로 써서 쏜다 가는 코아이나 유덕을 내가 같이 나더래.
So whatever action you engage in, it's very important to have these three things, which are the preparation, the actual or the main thing, and then the completion. For example, you're making a prostration. First, you need to have the intention to do that. Then you're actually doing it. That's the second actual part. Then after the action, you do the completion part with the dedication, prayer, or so on. Not only in this example, anything that you do in life, you need to have these three things, right? Whatever work you're doing, you prepare it, you actually do it, then you have to complete it.
다티 그 말을 가르나는 다 제라 사비레다 냠비레라다 다 냠비레라들 다티 걸은도아 제라 사비 냠비레 안도 오 대가래 다 냠비레라들 다 레들 레비치와 냠바 레들 레비치와 냠바들 냠비레스.
So the determinate karma is guaranteed that the result will be ripened.
다 레들라 레비치와 레들라 원한 레비치와 레비트 가리지에 그래서 선들 지우래 지와 셔말 지우래 가리 지우래 라들.
Then we say that the result will be guaranteed. It's guaranteed to come about, right? Then when will it come about? Will it in this life or next life?
So
there are three types how you're going to experience that result, when you will experience that result. So the first type is you engage in the action in this life and you experience the result in this life as well.
So the
first one is you engage and you actually experience the result in this life.
So
the second is you engage in the action in this life, but the result will only come in next life. guaranteed to come in next life.
다 레터 젤라 뇽저기 레라도 저림 보시오래 다 챈데 레사는 다 지워 셔마 많이 봐지 다 지워 셔마 디 셔마네 팔다 다가 잘랜데 봐 다가는 지워 삼바 다나 베난데 지워 셔마 다 지워 삼바 그 와라 짱아 지워 뭐 요라 다 지워 삼바 지와래 되면 그 지워 봐 자차기로 다 자차기로 되면요 된기 와다던다 요래
The third one is you engage in the action in this life, but you will not experience the result in this life nor in the next life. You can experience it in the third life, or it can be hundreds of lives later. So that is part, the third one.
당연히는 되게 좋은데 제페시트나 어쩌다 답이제되긴 디스와야 레라잘라니 이제 채틀라 사비 레긴 레베 쳔메라 maybe 레데 토쇼뉴지기 레이스 제와 니파 천출라 뉴이 레데 제네뉴지기 레이스 다치와 삼바 판취네 반 용케기 레들라 레라잘라 뉴지기 레이스 디스와 다요 가르나는 다 셀레고네 당아서 샤와 셀레고니나 패시게 레돈 루시게 레 조시게 레라 사요레세
So then it can be again classified the karma, the truth of origin of karma, it can be classified by its function, which are the projecting karma, establishing karma, and completing karma.
단디나말로 체페지는 뭐지 가이제 치마 찔러가 나한테 위드레서 온도 단디나마 야본다 요래 고니 잡은다 요래 당연히 더 패시 계획의 방식 넘어가니 가리 이거든 패시 가는 패시게 레도 루지게 레도 조지게 레도 소요아 조지게 레 다도 뭐 패시게 레더라다 다 패시 레달 패시 계획의 방식 조시 계획의 조바 아서 양 패야다 계획의 방법이 무슨 방법과 줘야다 계획의 투니파 조통 계지
The first step is it's projected by the virtuous karma and completed by a virtuous karma as well.
덤버 찔러가는 게 니커만 뺀세가 있어서 둘레엔도아 체드마 창성마 찔러가는 드너 뺀세 있어 빼나 빼르르게 있어서 찔러도
So this completing this three karma, I will read through this how it can combine. So projecting by virtuous karma, completing by virtuous karma, projection by non-virtuous karma, completion by non-virtuous karma, projection by virtuous karma, completion by non-virtuous karma, and then projection by non-virtuous karma, but completion by virtuous karma, projection by virtuous karma, completion by mixed karma, projection by non-virtuous karma, and completion by mixed karma.
그래. 다들 뺀세도 막아 안 되고 니도 뺀세 요나 소소.
And these are the examples.
빼나 덴도 그때라 대화 해첨부 중에 담보라. 다들 가서 패시 계획을 저시 계획을 다른 가서 뭐 치료 가서 되는 데게 패시의 계획을 패는 저시 알로 계획을 줘 발라 쳐댕기는 자들 패시 계획을 패라는 미지원 패드 미지원 패시 레이는 계획을 미쳐로 계획을 맞도 가서 미지원 패드 말이에요. 가서 소마도 패시 계획을 범비가 들어대요래서
For example, we all are an example of the first one, projection by virtuous karma and completion by virtuous karma, which is the first one here. Predominantly experience happiness in the fortunate rebirth. For example, all of us are born as a human, right? So we can only be born as a human due to our past virtuous karma. So this is an example of the first.
다 패시 계획에 패는 로아 미노를 미리지를 가르는 무슨 강불로 지사야 도야 개야 강적이 되니 저도 강아치 뭐 매워지 무슨 강부도 반디다 주서 반 무슨 빼어놓은 게 되어라 다들 그 패시다 계획에 패들 죄시다 계획에 무슨 강부 봐줘 투아래서
So there are people who are born as a human and they didn't go through their life goes without a problem throughout the life, right? There are many people. So those are the people that they are projected by virtuous karma and born as a human, right? And completed by a virtuous karma because they do not go through major sufferings and their life goes through well.
다 패시도 먹게래게 패 저제도 먹게래게 저바도 가르나는 니빠던데는 내로그때 제게 스제 내로그때라 동학이 전부 뇨되게 스제라더래 되오래.
And the second is projection by non-virtuous karma and completion by non-virtuous karma. The example is predominantly the beings predominantly experiencing suffering in lower birth, right? So due to their negative karma in their past life, now they are born in the lower birth, such as animal realm and so on. So this is an example of the second one.
코 패시 먹게래게 패라고 가르라는 코가르 던로게 리템 패어데 던로게 리템 패시 그 레들라 먹게래 미쳐래서.
It is called the projection by the non-virtuous karma because they were born as an animal, right?
패시 먹게래게 패서 다 저제 먹게래게 저는 마세 강보도 그러고 강보도 동화 짱죠 그날 사야야 보마라 다지 가대서 같이 되니 딱고 제티 강아모 좀 거니 발 그런 동화가 바타주 안데 걔들 다 저제다 먹게래게 저 봐선
And the second one, the completion, it is called completion by non-virtuous karma. For example, the ones who are born in the lower realm, the whole life they will go through suffering.
이 바다지 다 선바데 뒤에 덴도 그때라 동화히 전부 준기다래 렌다드노
Objection.
다들 갈라오르나는 덴도 그때라 동화히 전부 준 다가선 로아 미때라 미치와 라네 조테 다 제림보 나자두차라야는 다 나자나 다 같이 그더니 직강아 사야 토아 같이 그더니야 강아슈 저는 무척그러다 강아도 동화짱짱 바 타피노 계조라 마셔봐도 다들가는 배시의 계획을 내게 팬버래 그 메일이 된 해와라 저시의 게 무척 공부도 먹게래게 봐준도래서.
So the third one is projection by the virtuous karma and completion by non-virtuous karma. The example is great suffering even in fortunate rebirth. For example, a person is born in a human realm, right? It is due to the projection of the virtuous karma that somebody is born as a human. So anybody who is born as a human is due to a virtuous karma. So this is, since you're born as a human, it is called projecting by the virtuous karma. But some beings, even though they are born as a human, they go through lots of suffering their whole life, right? So it's completion. It is called the completion by non-virtuous karma because even though they are born as a human, they go through whole life with suffering.
That in this one, that dendo tela dendo tela donga shi mu chunki in this one, that nando tela dewa shi mu chunki, that nando tela dewa shi mu chunki lana, that pena masonya geg chitra de gachore.
And the fourth one, the beings that go through great happiness even though they're born in a lower rebirth. For example, you can think of the dogs that are in the rich families.
That is lana taga mantalk song and you go tanda cheda shimi parade mantaya cheda shimi aba tachi mo so den ke cheda shimi parade karana tananda chade word. Nando tela karana nando tela dewa shi chemu chula kede.
Not only rich, the domesticated cats and dogs owned by kind people and so on.
This hamala. The garden said that and look at the Pogarana, Cheddar Shimiki Joan Passy, Cheddar Jimmy, Cheddar Shimiki Joan and look at that jacket to the Dora, come McGill upon your Cheddar Shimiki Joan Passy, the McGill part as a cotton look at that and Pandora.
So here the dogs and the cats, they are born in the lower realm because the projection is through the non-virtuous karma. Due to the projection by non-virtuous karma, they are born as in the lower realm, the animal realm.
Cochiva lashe the McGill leg chiva lever, come McGill leg chicky chiva la, McGill chi chiva lashe, McGill leg chi chiva la, Shimiki chiva lashe, McGill la tenico, Shimiki chiva lever.
So they are born into the animal realm, which is a lower one of the lower realms, due to their negative or non-virtuous karma. So they are projected into this birth due to a non-virtuous karma.
Taco garden and handle that Dewa Shichimuchulan, Yinaya Kro, Tanda Chido Shimi the Kro, Mate Kambo, the Kosaya and Toya, the Pim Messiker
So even though they are born as an animal, but those animals throughout their life they don't have to worry about food and so on. So the life is completed through virtuous karma.
Tako garanane mese kambo de garanane gewi leg pala juju pasawad bazutu are.
So throughout the life of those cats and dogs, the completion is happening through the virtuous karma.
Tayo de dendo tala dedun dema jawa yang ando tala dedun dema jawa tatra pain to ores and damo sure tatamolana da dendo tala yo dedun dema jang ke ores.
And the fifth one is mixed experience in fortunate realms.
Dedu talan dendo tala dedu dema jawa da ngabare dendo ngaso ngaba de gane gewi lege ponshi zuje de gemegen dema ge la de.
So the fifth one, it is projected by a virtuous karma but completed by mixed karma.
Tatere ngaso penan ngaso roa mi no ni karana mi richi de ya na ya tra ya na tanda so dewa da dunga para de dema so mateshe den ke dindwa
So
oda tinda de pega
one example here is you see some people who get sick and then recover, get sick again, then recover, and we can take an example of those people.
tatenda e madgana pashe de gele power so ko gele mi ndo mi ji wan power de gele power
So those kind of persons, since they're born as a human, it is projected through the virtuous karma.
a kege mese de kanda chere la kege mese de game gen rema ga pal mese che ga ore changso dewan jo changso dunghan jo changso dewan jo tanda zon gedin rema ga pal mese che ga ore
So they complete their life through the mixed karma, because sometimes they have happiness, sometimes they have sufferings.
tachi pare ngendo ga tala de dun rema che be ge ti ore
So the same thing applies to the sixth one, mixed experience in lower rebirth.
당연도 달라 대든 데마 집이야 땅에서 저 쳐도 심일 빼가 줘래 다음은 저거 쳐도 심이더라야 냐차서 야보서 시고지 만디는 벗고 말 다음에서 방아가도 걸 강안용 거라 던져서 그런 패시도 미게일에게 패가라 저시도 게일에도 미게일인 데마가 밤 저렇게 왔다 던달 빼가 그래.
So we can take the same example of the domesticated cats and the dogs that due to the projection of negative virtue, negative karma, they are born as an animal, but they can go through the happiness and the suffering, such as in the beginning they might have a good owner, then sometime later they might abandon it, then they might go through suffering, so they go through both happiness and suffering.
어데 다단데 다가서 니 철가가네 다서 예만 가서 코성거니 예수들이 니들 돌리 때지 전에 자신의 때지 저가나
Jimarwa.
다리가 좋다 천대를 가라
Okay, so
내가 저 까망아지 니들 돌리나 좋아나 연애 쳐서도 저는
So we will end the class here today. For the next 5 minutes, if you have any questions, you can ask.
저도 때려가 전데 getting 데말라 된도와 옆에나 패시드 게일에게 패야진도와 배나 캐시 베이비다 저지가 가르게메겐 데마 저와다 게죠 뭐게제 레니드 레치 마르다 레 카가라 데우르 배나나 저노 미치와레와 칸실라 카르라노치 사사토사 겸보 이살이 지와레안도 된게 사야가 강한테 되게 도와 강한테 되게 그 사야 도와가 강한테 그하게 레데요 요뭐 패시기 레데 마르다서 되니까 레 카가카가라 데우르
So for example, here you see the mixed experience in the fortunate rebirth. It is you're born as in a higher realm due to the projecting virtuous karma, and you complete it through the mixed karmas, right? Those karmas are different. The karma that has projected you into the human birth, and the karmas that are resulting in the completion part, there are karmas that are making you go through suffering and happiness. Those are different karmas. Those are different causes. They are not the same thing.
난제게 대신 제대가 가서 대지 난출로 소소지 가면다에 대지 냐래 진긴다 있는 자 첨부들어서 나마다나 추아마다들 렌데일 때서 소노 또투아 있는 세마트지 ngortamewa sepa khde papezo tuyala lacha yasho de neko kadu se khde papezo tuyala yasho de matabato lendela sono to adre so rese.
So for ordinary practitioners, it is who are following Buddhism, even if you cannot go through like profound teachings and practice, the basic thing or the main thing that you can do is at least you can think about the life and death, and the cause and effect. That will make your mind calmer.
Yeah, mataba.
Yeah.
Impermanent. Yeah.
I think about impermanence, which is thinking about the death and so on.
Yeah, but impermanent and let's say get song or son of tire, penanda son, chuang heba, nanchin heba meba. Kate hitler, kolekana, getting to kake and rosamewa. That's also not on.
There is more, yeah. So to think about the impermanence, you can think about three things.
So the three things one should all think about is that it is certain that you're going to die, and it is not certain when we are going to die. We can die any time, and then once you have once you die, that your karma follows you exactly the way whatever you have accumulated, you're going to experience that.
다들이 소속은 같이 고르라는 다가랑아서 쇼하는 회사를 나시는 애매래 되오래 나 가디 후말을 다지 두 말아 와서.
So we all know it is very certain that you are going to die, and then you don't know when you're going to die. It's uncertain when you're going to die, so you can die today or any time.
다크왕에서는 빼나서는 다가서 선이 가르쳐야 하고 말 선이 가르치는 하마고는 다리 서서 선바 째보서 그야 뭐저 째보서 되는 계속 채워야 다리 막 왔다 앞에서 새도 그서 도루루서는 되는 개배 채워야서 그때 선이 가 있는 가르쳐 배치와래서 안다. 다든다서는 또 소소 개발 가르쳐와들 선노든다 뭐저 또투 있는 베시라게 펜트친 보요래서.
So thinking about that, the benefit is that if we say tomorrow I don't know what's going to happen, I don't even know whether I'm going to be alive or not. So today, like it's spent in the time that it's beneficial for yourself. And don't think too much about what's going to happen, especially thinking about things that something bad will happen. If you don't think about that, then your mind becomes more relaxed and spacious. So this is the benefit of thinking about those three things. So, and then for action, there is four types that one can contemplate on. Just the same way as certainty about death, there is certainty about one's action.
야보도 zone tin debe 야보도 고앙해봐. 두차드 제존은 tin debe 하시마도 두차드 고앙해봐.
So when we talk about certainty of action, is that if you do something good, the result will be good, and if you do something bad, it's certain that result will be bad. And then there is one that is increasing.
다들 시군들나 막고래 레페쳐랄게 레랑게 빼미시 니바 추추 레 추추적은 드레브 자체 못된 해야요와.
So the increasing one, Geshe-la will explain later on. So whatever, even a small action, whether virtue or non-virtue, it has the potential to increase.
레 지테 레ngamba 레 페체와 레 마제바도 못해와 소소 그레 두차드 제 마소와 있는 딘나야 데브 두차드 좋아요 말해서 제 마사는 데브 와 메와서.
So it says that if you don't do anything, then there is no result. Such as that if you didn't engage in non-virtuous actions, there is no suffering that would follow.
le cheba chima sawas ta soso gi gari ina chenja ya wa dua gari chua ina chua ge le de sa chayel tin rebe chua ge ti de rego dil rebe chua imba de dam sawa ska kaya mewa.
And then it is when the result is not not stoppable, cannot be, you don't get, does not disappear. So as long as you have done something, and then it is certain that you will go through, experience the whether joy or suffering, depending on that action. So that once that you cannot stop.
No, tati thero yema nga chonde na mala toli gore ta tari nga chon zanda ndana ti gai yo chro so stroa kare yo na ya sani yema le stroa khisho ase.
So we're going to leave it at this today, and next time, like if we'll go further into that. So if you have any questions, then you can bring that in the next class.
Tane tanda nga chonde mhelo dong go chu ainda ase.
So we're going to now begin the prayer for the person who passed away.